Hi, the Pocket 3 is an incredibly popular device for making walking videos, and this is because of its compact size and its built-in gimbal for making stabilized smooth footage. So in this video I'm going to show you what I think are the best settings for making walking videos with the Osmo Pocket 3. So I'm going to give you my recommended settings and of course just tweak them for your own personal needs. So these are just to give you somewhere to start. Alright, resolution. So the very best quality always selects 4K resolution. Of course, this high resolution comes at the cost of rather high storage card space, and the Pocket 3 might get a little bit hot when recording for a long time. So if you're one of those people who just love to make ridiculously long walking videos, then you're going to need to get a few spare storage cards. Now personally, I think that 4K is rather overkill for walking videos, and I'd just probably rather pick 2.7K or even maybe 1080p, as I think that's perfectly adequate. But that's just my opinion, so if you want to do 4K and 6-hour long walking videos, then just knock your socks off. Okay, frame rate. So for me personally, I would go for 30 frames per second, as this I think gives perfectly decent footage. Now some people might argue that 50 or 60 frames per second is probably better to give you more smooth footage, but this is really only noticeable on very large monitors, or if you're doing lots of very large panning movements. Now I'd also argue back that you really shouldn't be doing big panning movements anyway in your videos, as it's going to look decidedly amateur. You might see that professionals don't use really big panning shots, especially if you're watching things like movies. Okay, so check out this video here where I have a whole video on the reasons why most walking videos suck and how to stop yours from being one of them. So it's going to cover what you should and you shouldn't do in your walking videos, and how to make yours look more professional than the rest. Okay, a very quick break. So if you're enjoying this video so far, then please check out my channel, because I have a whole load of videos on the Pocket 3 and gimbals, and also reviews on various technology. So check it out and make sure you subscribe. Okay, so now onto the focus mode. So this one is really straightforward. The only focus mode that really makes sense to use for our walking videos is the continuous focus mode. Now this is where the Pocket 3 will automatically keep the scene in front of you in focus. So if you want to know more about the focus modes on a Pocket 3 and you're a little bit unsure on the differences between them, then I have a whole video dedicated to the topic, which I'm going to link up here. Alright, let's talk about the gimbal mode that you should be using. So the easiest and by far the best mode that I find is the default follow mode. So this mode gives a whole load of flexibility to, for example, to tilt the camera up to look at a tall building, while also giving freedom to look sideways. FPV mode really gives too much freedom, and you don't really need to twist the pockets in the rotation axis while doing walking videos, so I don't think this mode is really suitable. Now tilt lock mode prevents the camera from tilting up, so if you want to show a building, then this axis is locked and then becomes rather a bit of an inconvenience to stop and then switch back to the follow mode again. Now the only gotcha for the follow mode is that the horizon has a tendency to twist when you're suddenly turning a corner. Now if you're not concentrating, it's really easy to inadvertently rotate the horizon, which can make the street level appear diagonal. However, this only occurs if you're holding the gimbal horizontally, which I tend to do, rather than vertically. So more on this in a moment. Next, let's talk about ISO and white balance. Now, for convenience, I generally leave the Pocket 3 to automatically manage the ISO and the white balance and such. So the Pocket 3 does a really good job of setting the exposure automatically, and I don't really feel the need to manually change it. Now on the occasion when I think I know better and I want to avoid, for example, the sky being blown out, I might then tweak the EV level, but generally I let the Pocket 3 manage it for me. Now I just rather enjoy looking around the place than constantly trying to get the perfect exposure. Now the only time I might change to manual is when doing walking videos in low light, but that's a topic for an entire video completely. So I'll give a link to it when it's ready. Now, okay, let's now talk about holding the Pocket 3 itself. Now, when doing walking videos, I generally hold the Pocket 3 horizontally rather than vertically. Now, I do this for two reasons. Firstly, holding the Pocket 3 horizontally makes the Pocket 3 more discreet than holding it vertically, so it becomes less obvious from a distance due to the profile. And you can also sort of hide some of it in a sleeve, for example. Now, it's also possible to hide the Pocket 3 most of the bulk when holding it vertically, but it just seems a little bit more obvious this way. Now the other reason I find is I just occasionally want to glance at the screen to make sure I know what I'm recording. Now of course you may actually prefer holding the Pocket 3 vertically, so try either way and see which one works for you. Of course these are my recommend settings, but they're not set in stone, so just take them and tweak them to your own personal tastes. Okay, so if you're enjoying this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and of course if you have any questions, let me know in the comments and I'll try and help you. Other than that guys, please of course subscribe to the channel as always, and take care, and I shall see you soon on another video.